Two 7-footers that Malcolm just talked about. We are underway. Those are the two guys to watch tonight, Post and Reid. It's Boston College. It starts with the ball. The Eagles playing in just their second game in 22 days. You take a look at the starting five. Claudell Harris coming off a season-high 29 points. He misfires to start the contest.
And that's going to be key in this one. That's the first thing Earl Grant talked about when we spoke with him, how his team would get into rhythm after such a long layoff. Wake Forest, though, coming into this game playing as good as anybody in college basketball.
And big reason because of Efton Reid, who opens the scoring. They are undefeated since Reid's return. A 7-game win streak, which is the longest since 2009 for the Demon Deacons. Zachary lines up a three and buries it.
That's been the key number, I think, for Boston College in their stretch where they've won some games. They've been over 40% from the three-point line. Excellent little find that time on a broken play by Quinten Post.
Sallis tried to answer from three, off the mark. Right into Post, in the post where he loves it. Going against another 7-footer, another NBA prospect, couldn't finish.
And
wanted the foul.
And that's key right there.
Sallis gets the foul and the bucket on the other end. Hunter Sallis.
You can't run your transition offense any better off of a miss. Right here, Wake Forest, the key, Jay, they stayed home. They don't double off a post. And then right here, ball touches the floor one time, throw ahead. That's a beautiful transition offense by Wake Forest. And when we spoke with Steve Forbes, he said the key with Boston College defending them, if you can stay home man-to-man against Quinten Post, that's going to be key.
Sallis completes the three-point play. You look at what Steve Forbes has done with Wake Forest since he's come in as head coach. He brings in a scoring guard through the transfer portal. Alondas Williams, Tyree Appleby, now Hunter Sallis. Back-to-back 20-point games for Sallis, who is really in fine form right now. Pull-up pop, nothing but the bottom of the net for Claudell Harris.
Well, he's coming off a game against Lehigh where he had 29 points and made 7 threes. His pull-up game, one of the best in the ACC. Very good off the 2 feet.
That reminds me of you at shoot-around.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't have to lift like that anymore. But he is fun to watch, and both these teams really do an excellent job spacing the floor offensively.
Efton Reid going right into Post. Dangerous with his left hand. Goes up, missed it, tapped out. Falls to Sallis, who triggers a three. That's an air ball.
That's a good closeout that time by Boston College. Again, Wake Forest, a team that makes 8 threes a game.
Reid showing off the range. He can make it from there. That time misfires. Prince of League Bay lost the handle. Sallis finds Hildreth, who slows things down. Reid the trailer. Hoopy Miller pull-up pop. The floater doesn't fall. Earl Grant wants to slow things down because in the opening 3 minutes, this is a pace that suits Wake Forest more.
He said, look, we want to play in the 70s, and that right there, beautiful play by Miller. And in their win against Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, they had 23 points off of turnovers, Jay. That's going to be key in this one right here. Can Boston College handle the pressure that Wake Forest is going to put on them?
No, we asked Wake Forest head coach, what's been the key to the 7 straight wins? He said defense. A League Bay contested jumper, but gets it to go.
And that's the area of his game. Earl Grant and staff, they deserve a lot of credit. They're working with him on that right there. His jump shot, that's a beautiful elevation, under control, right into rhythm.
Hildreth hits it from 3.
And we saw Cam Hildreth working on that same exact curl play and shoot around. That's way too much airspace by Boston College. He is going to make them pay. Got to be better communication on that screen amongst the bigs.
Post, foot on the line. They rule it a 2. but showing off the range in front of some NBA scouts tonight.
And that's really what makes him attractive. Again, he's a 7-footer. Yes, he can block. Yes, he can score down low, but his ability to spread the floor with his three-point shooting ability is going to be huge.
Stolen away, Harris up top looking for a leak bay. Deflected by Sallis, who does so well in the transition game. Carr lines up the three, can't connect. Post going to work, right to the rim, draws the foul. He'll be at the line when we come back.
Well, Cam Hildreth showing off the range. We got a tight one early on. Wake Forest, tough one.
Tight game early, and already an outstanding big man battle taking place.
We featured this in our open right here. Efton Reid, nice turnaround jumper over that left shoulder. And then on the other end, Quinten Post stepping out on the perimeter. This is going to be a fun matchup. I think whoever gains the advantage in this matchup right here is going to be the team probably to win this game. Right now, though, I like what Boston College is doing, Jay. They're putting Post on, the block, isolating him and forcing a decision by Wake Forest. Do you stay single coverage or do you come double off of him?
Post ties it at 10. Take a look at these two teams, their resumes in non-conference play. They enter tonight both 9-3. This is a huge resume win for two teams that really want to get over that hump and make the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely, and I think in particular, in the case of Boston College, you've got to take care of home court. Again, it's so difficult. These coaches talk about winning on the road in conference play. But certainly you got to take care of home court.
Backdoor wide open, and Sallis slams it home.
And that's all set up. Boopy Miller with a beautiful backdoor pass. Overplay, and that's a pinpoint pass right here by Miller. Again, look at the timing on this. Harris turns his head for a second. You cannot execute a backdoor play any better.
They go right back to Post. Hands off for Harris. Triple team, kicks it out, Post a three, money!
I said it. Brad Stevens in the building right here, along with some other NBA execs. That's a 7-footer. Again, that's going to be his bread and butter at the next level. His ability to be a pick and pop guy. That's very difficult to match up against. When you help off of him, he can step back beyond the NBA range.
He's in the ACC Player of the Year conversation for good reason. Getting it done on defense there. No rebound, though. Keller couldn't put home the offensive board. And then Wake Forest commits the frustration foul underneath.
And Earl Grant has designed an offense. We spoke with Steve Forbes about this, where they move Post, where they'll put him on the block, they'll put him at the high post. Sometimes they'll even use him to relieve pressure when teams are pressing. Again, he's a versatile big that can do a lot of things. Very difficult matchup.
We were curious how these two teams would come out tonight because Boston College, they haven't played since December 21st. This is just their second game in 22 days. Wake Forest, meanwhile, they just played Saturday, and they won 86-63 to Virginia Tech, but there is no rust for Boston College right now, Malcolm.
And that was, again, the question mark coming into this one. Earl Grant said it right first thing when I asked him keys to the game. He said, look, I don't know how my team's going to respond after this long layoff. I think he's probably happy now, almost 8 minutes into this game.
And so far, so good, a 4-point lead on the back of Quinten Post, who swipes it away here. Post has scored the last 9 for the Eagles, getting it done on both ends. A league bay. Can't connect. Sallis trying to spin his way free. Chaz Kelly commits the foul. A lot of talk about Wake Forest's winning streak early, Malcolm, but how about the Eagles the last 6 games finding something?
Yeah, both these teams have been playing well. I think the key number, though, for Boston College, we talk about it, 40% from the three-point line. It just opens up the whole floor for a player like Quinten Post when guys like Harris, guys like Jaden Zachary are knocking down threes. They've shot the ball really well from beyond the arc.
Sallis draws the foul again. Been a difficult matchup for BC tonight, Hunter Sallis. And you mentioned the 7-game win streak for the Demon Deacons, the longest since 2009. Steve Forbes has been rebuilding this program the last handful of seasons. This is the most talented roster he's had.
And he's done an outstanding job, and every year it seems like he finds a hidden gem.
Offensive foul. Cam Hildreth is livid. Pat Driscoll makes the call.
Well, let's see if he sold it right here again. Win that first bump, yeah, again, from that angle right there. Now, again, we got a veteran officiating crew. Bert Smith, Matt Potter, Pat Driscoll, combined 5 Final Fours. They're right there in position to make that call.
Very physical matchup, jump ball.
And that's just great individual defense by Keller. Again, holding ground right here, not going for the head fake, and then walling up. That's great post defense. Comes up with the jump ball. Possession now for Wake Forest.
Everything going through Sallis right now for the Demon Deacons. Fading away, missed it.
And interesting, Jay, both teams really not crashing guys on the offensive glass.
Zachary, step back 3, in and out, no good. Mighty, the offensive rebound, muscles it back in.
And Steve Forbes and staff livid. They felt like that was offensive goaltending. And he's still barking at the refs. Now, from our angle, couldn't tell whether or not that was still in the cylinder.
Turnover. Boston College couldn't finish it on the other end, but they have held the Demon Deacons scoreless over the last 3 minutes. At Hill tonight, Brad Stevens, president of basketball operations for the Celtics, and obviously legendary Boston Globe columnist Bob Ryan. Many people know our colleague at ESPN and Around the Horn contributor, and those who have it a chat pregame. And it's no surprise Brad Stevens is here because there's a lot of NBA talent, potential NBA talent on the floor. Wake Forest, Hunter Sallis, and Efton Reid. But for Boston College, Quinten Post has drawn a lot of attention from NBA scouts this year.
He really has, and I think you're right, absolutely. On the court, a lot of guys are going to be playing at the next level, whether it's in the NBA or overseas somewhere. So certainly no surprise to see Brad Stevens and also other NBA execs at these games.
Pretty nice for Stevens that it's right in your backyard to have a player like Quinten Post. Nice scoop to the hoop. Mason Madsen and Boston College on a 9-0 run.
And Boston College has done a nice job in transition, but that's the area right there they got to be careful. Speaking with the staff at shoot-around, they said we must have a really good transition defense. Wake Forest, one of the better teams pushing ahead. Wake, make or miss.
Parker Fredrickson, a much-needed 3. Jaden Zachary answers on the offensive end.
That time they decide to post Zachary up, and again, he's got a size advantage against Miller.
Shot clock under 10. Here's Sallis. Fredrickson wants it wide open. Hits it again. Parker Fredrickson, back-to-back threes.
And that's a breakdown by Boston College. Again, shot clock winding down. There's a switch. Inexplicably, they just leave Fredrickson alone. Right here, though, in transition, Boston College, Madsen with the beautiful finish at left hand. And then here, breakdown, wide open 3, and that's just too easy. Wake Forest, again, a team that shoots the ball really well from the 3-point line.
Fredrickson, the freshman from Bixby, Oklahoma. And what a freshman year he is having. When he was a high school senior, he went to the Final Four and won the State Farm High School three-point shootout. And Steve Forbes has recruited him to shoot threes. And what's he done tonight? Made 2 in 2 minutes on the floor.
And he said he's one of the best shooters I've ever signed. And he's a guy that, as you said, scored over 2,100 points in high school. And he is going to have a very nice career playing in this Steve Forbes system.
That's a friendly system for three-point shooters for sure. And they're without Damari Monsanto right now. He's usually the top guy from 3. Efton Reid going to Quinten Post. Passes out of the double team. Boopy Miller in attack mode. Fading away. Hits it.
Beautiful footwork. The turnaround jumper. And I'm putting him at the top of my all-name team, Boopy Miller. That's a big-time turnaround jumper.
Zachary pull-up pop. He can't connect. And a foul called on Boopy Miller, who tried to box out Quinten Post.
Well, right here to look at this reverse pivot off 1 foot. And that's just a great footwork in the paint. And again, he's a guy, another guy, Steve Forbes, again, just seems like he finds guys and they just excel in his system.
Just picked up his second foul, so comes out of the game. Post, too much on at that time. And with Miller out of the game, expect Sallis to handle the ball primarily for Wake Forest. This has been the game within the game. Reid and Post swiped away by Harris. Saturday afternoon right here on ACC Network. You don't want to miss this triple header. Our first one of 2024. Virginia, NC State tips things off at 2 Eastern. Then it's Virginia Tech at Florida State at 4. And Duke at Notre Dame is the nightcap at 6. Love the conference play is here, Malcolm.
It is here in full swing, and got a good one tonight here.
Here's Reid. Couldn't hammer it home. Post got in front of it. BC going the other way. A league bay with a rack attack.
That right there is all set up by Quinten Post's defense. The block on Reid sets up the transition bucket, and Prince of League Bay with the rim rocker. And Jay, again, look at this right here. Quinten Post showing off the defense, and then on the other end, Prince of League Bay, they might need to check the rim. My goodness, showing off the hops and strength. That's a big-time finish off of the defensive play by Quinten Post.
Two-handed, that's a grown man jam right there by Prince of League Bay. At Boston College, they've got some juice tonight. We didn't know how they would come out with such a long layoff, but a really good Wake Forest team in their building. Demon Deacons, a 7-game win streak. And BC has been the better team so far in this first half.
And I think a couple of things. One, they've kept Wake Forest out of transition. That's key. And then Post has got the hot start to go along with them. I think really slowing this game down and getting the ball to their best player.
Quinten Post makes it look so easy.
Well, I think now you're Wake. You're going to have to go and double. Steve Forbes said, look, we're going to try to start the game off without doubling Quinten Post. I think right now they're going to have to send somebody, if not double, at least try to dig and show like you're helping.
Sallis, count it, plus the foul. Hunter Sallis leads the Eagles with 11.
And he's doing a little bit of everything. Right now, again, he's showing off the three-point shooting ability. That's why the NBA scouts are here. In the post, check it off. The thing that's really impressed me, this right here, his defense. He came into this game leading Boston College 25 blocks. He's got 2 in this game. Put that number up to 27. He's doing it on both ends of the court.
And we've talked about it all first half. Quinten Post against Efton Reid. And right now it's Post with 11, Reid just with 2. Sallis completes the three-point play 4-point game, under 8 minutes left in this first half. It's been back and forth. This is the game we expected. 2 9-3 teams in conference play. They both feel like this is a game they need to have.
And this is right here, though, Jay, importance of having Quinten Post. A team like Wake Forest that's pressing man-to-man. Quinten Post is playing a point guard, relieving pressure against the guards.
Shot clock down to 8. Harris, step back 3. Got it! Claudell Harris drills it from deep.
And I said at the beginning, he's got one of the better pull-ups in the ACC. That right there on full display. That's a step back 3. Shot clock winding down.
Here's Hildreth in attack mode. Bounces it. Nobody home.
Well, right here again, look at this step back body control. Shot clock winding down. Harris, we said it, coming off a game where he put up 29 points and made 7 threes versus Lehigh. That right there is a tough step back 3 with the shot clock winding down.
Wake Forest with 6 first half turnovers. Meanwhile, Boston College has controlled this first half. They've made their last 3 shots, 5 of their last 7. Every time Wake Forest gets within a 1-score game, BC has a punch to keep this cushion. Little sky hook doesn't fall. Sallis, the floater, off the mark.
Not a bad look by Sallis, just a little short on that floater. He got into the lane and just unable to convert on the short floater.
Miscommunication there between Post and Zachary. Sunday afternoon right here on ACC Network. It is a quadruple header. Tips off with a terrific matchup. Number 3 against number 13, NC State at Virginia Tech. The Georgia Tech at Pitt to follow. Don't miss the nightcap. Florida State and Clemson, and BC at Syracuse. Loaded slate on Sunday. Offensive foul.
And that's twice now. Jaden Zachary, again, he may not be their best in terms of scorer, but I think he's their heart and soul of this team. And he sets the tone defensively. That's twice now he's been able to change the possession for Boston College with his defense.
And that's now 7 first half turnovers for Wake Forest. Steve Forbes' team that comes in, one of the hottest teams in all of college basketball. 7 straight wins for the first time since 2009, and yet Quinten Post and Boston College leading by 9.
Well, Jay, again, that time they put him at the top of the key. The other time they put him down low on the block, so they're moving him, putting him in different spots, and the help is not coming for Wake Forest, and he's just going to work.
The Post has dominated Reid so far tonight. Reid trying to answer, misses it again. Post already with 13. Draws the foul.
And Jay, he's getting it done on both ends. But again, right here, they put him at the top of the key, no help. And then right here, defensively, again, him and Reid have been battling all night. He holds ground and then gets a contest, forces him into a tough turnaround. And Brad Stevens has to be pleased with what he's seen so far from the 7-footer, Quinten Post. Not only is he shooting the ball well, but I think the defensive presence and his ability to defend really has been impressive in this game.
A 10-point lead, largest of the night for BC. Wake Forest has fallen into another scoring drought. They went 4 minutes and 20 seconds without a bucket earlier. Now 3 minutes without a score here. Trailing by 10. Boopy Miller off the bench. That's exactly what Wake Forest needed. He had sat with 2 fouls. That's the spark.
He is so tough. That time, change the direction, break him down, and then that's a tough floater in traffic.
Jaden Zachary off to McLaughlin. Lines up the 3, can't connect. Offensive rebound Post. Madsen triggers a triple. Another offensive board. Boston College a 3rd opportunity here, and they give it away. Boopy Miller swiped it, pulls up from 3, can't hit it. Falls to Fredrickson. Another opportunity for Wake Forest here. Keller wide open, and he makes Boston College pay.
And that's a nice change for Wake Forest to cut this deficit to 5.
Squeezed into Zachary, a beautiful pass from Post.
And what they're trying to do right now with Jaden Zachary, they're just trying to post him up. That time he makes a nice basket cut, and that's a nice pass by Quinten Post.
Miller, a deep 3. He's got range. Boopy Miller.
And that's on Quinten Post right there. He's got to be up the show on that high ball screen. Boopy Miller comes off clean, gets a wide open look from beyond the arc.
And just like that, Wake Forest back within 4. Zachary looking for the immediate answer. Perfect placement. Devin McLaughlin.
And McLaughlin has done really good work on the offensive and defensive glass for Boston College.
A foul called on McLaughlin. Reach in on Carr. Boopy Miller bringing Wake Forest back in it. 2-possession game with a little more than 2 minutes left to this first 6-point lead with a little more than 2 minutes left to this first half. Last time these two teams saw each other, Boston College won a thriller down in Winston-Salem. And for Steve Forbes, he wants nothing to do with the Eagles because they have been a real thorn in Wake's side. Each of the last 2 years, Wake Forest has been right on the bubble at the end of the season, and that bubble has been burst by Boston College.
Well, it seems like it's been a tough matchup for them. Certainly, though, in this game right here, I think it's going to come down to the matchups, in particular how Wake continues to defend Quinten Post when he's in the game. But that guy right there, I'll tell you, I've been so impressed with his game. Hunter Sallis has been playing great for Wake Forest.
You know, the Demon Deacons shooting well, 50% from the floor, but they've turned it over 7 times. Keller has already hit 1 3 tonight. Misses that one short. Here's Jaden Zachary. And off to Mighty, trying to muscle it. Draws the foul instead.
That's the key word. He was just trying to bulldoze his way down there. Again, right here, nice footwork. Spin move, and then it goes up. Yeah, it gets hit right across the face. But as you take a look at the numbers right now, Jay, for this, I think the big one that jumps out, fast break points. That's something Earl Grant talked about. Wanted to keep Wake Forest out of transition. Right now, 5-4 in favor of Wake.
ACC PM with Mark Packer and Taylor Tannenbaum every weekday, Monday to Friday at 4 Eastern time. You do not want to miss it. Coming up on the halftime report. Plenty of good games going on around the ACC, and Mark and Taylor will surely talk about it tomorrow. Football season is over. It is all hoops on ACC PM right now. Blocking foul called. Claudell Harris not happy about it. That's his second foul.
Sallis has already got 10 points in this first half. We talked about what he's done his last 3 games, averaging close to 20 points per game, close to 50 from the three-point line, and over 56% from the floor.
Makes the front end of the 1-and-1. You know, if you're Steve Forbes, if you can get this to a one-possession game or closer in the final minute, you'll feel pretty good about this first half, considering you trailed by as many as 10.
Absolutely. Again, they've withstood that initial surge from Boston College. They got a double-digit lead, and you're absolutely right. They've cut this thing. They've backed down to single digits, and a big reason why this guy at the line, Jay, so impressed with his all-around game. An excellent defender, but his ability to attack the paint really has been impressive.
And they tag Sallis for the foul.
And the pressure, again, that's going to be a theme we're going to watch. Wake Forest, they're not really trapping. They're just playing hard, physical, full-court man-to-man, and that's something they were able to do against their last time out against Virginia Tech. They were able to turn them over to the tune of 23 points off of turnovers. Not sure what they're looking at. I think there might be either blood or...
And that was Andrew Carr who had to go over to the Demon Deacon sideline. He was nowhere near the action, so something must have happened off ball with Carr. Have not seen much of Donald Hand Jr. tonight, but he's been very good off the bench. Take a look at the last 4 games in particular.
And that's been key in their run, Boston College, their bench production. The coaching staff has talked about that.
Here's Andrew Carr. He's been quiet in this first half. Fredrickson, he's had the hot hand. That rim's out no good. Post wants it. McLaughlin couldn't squeeze it through. Wake Forest can hold for one final shot in this first half. Hildreth with 5, goes to work. Trying to call his own number to the hole. No good. Sallis nearly with the follow flush. Boston College of 4 points. McLaughlin wide open 3, buries it. Devin McLaughlin, and BC picks up where they left off.
And that's a great start. Beautiful action that time, and McLaughlin only a 26% three-point shooter coming into this one. That's a wide open 3 off an excellent ball movement. And again, the ball went left to right. This time Harris draws 2, and then the kick back out, and that's a beautiful start if you're Earl Grant and Boston College.
Here's Boopy Miller. He was the spark plug in the first half. Dumps it down low to Reed, who muscles it home.
And that's a beautiful find by Miller. Again, nice action. Both teams coming out executing at a high level on the offensive end to start this second half.
Miller brought much needed energy off the bench. Wake Forest was trailing by 10. He sat for a lot of that first half with 2 fouls, came back in, got Wake Forest back in the game before the break. A league bay in attack mode. It doesn't fall. Demon Deacons entered tonight one of the hottest teams in college basketball on a 7-game win streak, longest streak in program history since 2009. And Boopy Miller doesn't want it to end. Big time basket, and Miller puts Wake Forest in a 1-possession game.
Look how quick he gets into his shot. Again, he's shifty, but then he just gets you off balance and then raises up into his jumper. That is tough to defend.
Zachary lost the handle, but they said Cam Hildreth was on the line when he stripped it away, so it stays BC ball.
This find right here, again, all set up by Miller. No communication on the back end for Boston College. Nice little lob pass by Boopy Miller.
Miller has been the catalyst for Wake. Quinten Post, who has it here, has been the go-to guy. Rejected by Reid. Miller up ahead. Sallis, acrobatic. The catch and finish. And Wake Forest is back within 1.
You cannot run transition any better. Again, Earl Grant's talked about this. Make or miss, you have to be on point when it comes to your transition defense. Boston College sleeping that time. They get a wide open.
The Demon Deacons on a 6-0 run. Miller, pull-up pop, hits it. Booping Miller fires Wake Forest in front for the first time since it was 12-11.
That's not bad, D. That's just another tough pull-up jumper. And he is going right at Claudell here.
Swatted out. Here's Harris trying to answer. Missed it. Hildreth lost the handle, bounced out of bounds. It was off Wake Forest last.
And we talked about transition points and transition D being the key right here. Great defense by Reid, and then transition offense. Wake, one of the better transition teams in college basketball. And then this right here, one-on-one individual play. I talked about his quick release. Boopy Miller, again, one of those guys that's shifty and then raises up quick.
Now Miller has 13, and he has been the catalyst to this Wake Forest comeback. The Demon Deacons trailed by as many as 10 in that first half, and now a 1-point advantage. Boston College has fallen into a 3-minute scoring drought. It's allowed Wake Forest to go on an 8-0 run.
They need to get the ball, I think, in the hands of Quinten Post. Let him go to work, play through him.
Post has it here. One-on-one, takes it right to Reid, missed it, but it's tipped in. And Boston College ends the scoring drought and takes back the lead. Kick out 3, Hildreth buries it. These two teams going punch for punch in the ACC.
And that's all set up by Hunter Sallis. Unselfish play. Dribble drive, kick it out. And that time, that's a wide open 3.
Wake Forest, a perfect 5 for 5 in this second half.
And the ball movement and spacing. That's been the key in this run for Wake Forest. They got a 2-point lead in Chestnut Hill.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital.
To find guys that put up big numbers for him right here in transition. Beautiful pass, but I've been impressed with his pull-up game. Again, quick release, just gets you off balance. He's shifty, but the ability to stop on a dime and raise up or to go along with the assist game. Another great find for Steve Forbes and his staff.
Yeah, 13 points, 5 assists, and probably most importantly, only 1 turnover tonight. Zachary missed it out of the timeout. Wake Forest with all the momentum right now. The Demon Deacons a perfect 5 for 5 shooting in this second half. Carr's been quiet tonight, scoreless. McLaughlin thought that went off. Carr last. Sallis puts it up, and Efton Reid hammers it home.
And that's a beautiful play. Again, Sallis with the find and the roll. He set such a good screen. They had the help, and then the pass was on point.
And deep three. Boston College needed it. He missed. Demon Deacons on a 13-2 run over the last 4 minutes.
And notice the difference. Everything for Boston College contested jumpers. Wake, they're getting the ball in the paint and getting higher percentage shots.
Wake Forest has grabbed control of this game. Trailed by as many as 10 in the first half. Transition three, and much needed. Donald Hand Jr. delivers. The bench production has been pivotal during this 4-game win streak for the Eagles.
And right here again, because Reid sets that screen, the help on the backside is not there. And Sallis, again, a beautiful pinpoint pass in transition, no hand up, and that's great confidence by Donald Hand. Come back down after missing a three and pull up again in transition.
Sallis left all alone. He'll make you pay.
Again, it might not show up. It won't show up in the box scores, but the screens that Efton Reid is setting really are freeing up the shooters.
And Sallis now with 17. McLaughlin draws the foul on the other end. How has Wake Forest changed the complexion of this game?
Defensively, and then look at the screens again. That right there, again, it might be a little thing, but when you have bigs that set screens and solid screens like Reid has, it frees up guys like Miller and Sallis, and he's done a great job, and then he's been rewarded after setting those screens and diving hard to the post. Again, it's something that any offense that is based on spacing and motion, a lot of ball players moving, you have to have bigs that set solid screens, and Efton Reid has done a nice job of that in this game.
Steve Forbes decides to take Poopy Miller out with 3 fouls. It was when he was out in the first half that Boston College went on their run to go up by 10. Now trailing by 2. Here's Hildreth. Sallis from the same spot. Missed it this time. Up ahead, McLaughlin right to the rack. Doesn't fall. On the floor. And a foul called on Efton Reid. Great hustle by McLaughlin.
That is great hustle by McLaughlin again to gather his own miss. Get back up quick right here again. Forced shot, but then get right back up on the offensive glass. They got Reid for the dive on.
Saturday afternoon right here on ACC Network. Conference play continues with a triple header. Virginia takes on NC State to tip things off at 2 Eastern. Then in Tallahassee, Florida State takes on Virginia Tech. Finally, it's Duke and Notre Dame in South Bend. Should be a great afternoon of hoops right here on ACC Network. Back in 4th game here in Chestnut Hill. Boston College looking for the lead. It was halfway down for Hand.
They got a pretty clean look off out of bounds underneath.
That's a travel. Jaden Zachary trying to use some defense to bring some life to Boston College here.
And this right here, again, key, Jaden Zachary, the defense. But right now, Wake Forest in their pressure. Again, they've used Quinten Post to break pressure, and they're going to use that again. Again, this is a luxury right here to have a 7-footer that can man the point for you. Again, that has been a big reason why Boston College has not really had an issue with the pressure of Wake Forest.
And with Efton Reid out of the game with 3 fouls, you have to think Boston College has to go into post even more so now.
Absolutely. If I'm Earl Grant, I'm telling them nobody shoots in 2. Quinten Post gets a touch with Efton Reid on the bench.
Zach Keller, who's in for Reid right now. Shot clock down to 7. Parker Fredrickson, quick release. Nothing but air there. Steve Forbes getting creative with the minutes right now because Wake Forest in some foul trouble. Boopie Miller and Efton Reid, who have been the 2 go-to guys in this second half, as well as Hunter Sallis, who has certainly been the most consistent player for the Demon Deacons this season.
And I think Reid is the big one. In particular, again, you have a player like Quinten Post. So let's see what Boston College does here. Again, with Efton Reid on the bench, I'm trying to run my offense, if I'm Boston College, through Quinten Post, give him a touch.
He's got so much size against Zach Keller, and yet Post camped out beyond the arc. Takes the 3 and makes the 3.
Well,
Quinten Post.
Well, Earl Grant's like, I don't care where he touches it, as long as he gets a touch. Now the question is, how long does Steve Forbes stay with Efton Reid on the bench?
Sallis missed it. Keller couldn't clean up the spill. And in transition right to the rack, he missed it, but draws the foul. Quinten Post fired back in 4th game, led by 2 stars.
Yeah, the 2 leading scorers for both teams, respectively. Hunter Sallis, this guy, though, right here, Quinten Post, showing off the NBA range. Both guys, Jay, have been impressive in this game. You look at the numbers they put up, the number 5 and 6 leading scorer in the ACC have not disappointed tonight. They both have been on top of their game.
17 points apiece. Interesting. We've said that Wake Forest's maybe most important player has been Boopie Miller tonight. Well, since he came out of this game with his 3rd foul, Boston College on a 5-0 run, and Wake Forest 0 for 4 shooting the ball. They've fallen into a scoring drought of 2 minutes and 32 seconds because of Miller's absence.
And a big reason why he's the one guy that can go along with Sallis and get you a bucket when the shot clock's winding down. So right now, Boston College picking up the pressure, seeing if they can force a turnover.
Hildreth breaks the press. Keller kicks it out. Fredrickson a 3. Got it! Parker Fredrickson. That's his 3rd 3 of the night.
Breakdown by Boston College. Steve Forbes said he's the best shooter I've signed. Steve Forbes has been around this game a long time. He's seen a lot of good shooters. This future is bright for this young man right here. You cannot leave him open. That's a mental breakdown by Boston College.
Back and forth we go in Chestnut Hill. 10 lead changes tonight, and no signs of slowing down. 2 evenly matched teams, both 9-3 on the season. This would be a big win for both programs. Donald Hand Jr. not shy, fires BC back in front.
And he has been huge for Boston College. That's his 7th point right now. He's knocked down 3s, but also been aggressive attacking the basket.
And has 6 of his 7 in this second half.
And right here, again, just attack mode. Again, don't settle for a jumper. So much attention on Quinten Post, and that's a beautiful finish. He's so strong. And again, guy coming off had battled some injuries, and having him back healthy in the lineup has been huge for Boston College.
He has a lot of confidence. Donald Hand Jr., I mean, when he gets that ball, you know His thoughts are, I'm going to the rack.
Well, I think the big thing is his health. Again, he's starting again to get back to that 100% mark, and certainly a huge asset for Coach Grant and staff to come on off the bench.
And both teams, after made shots, going full court pressure in the second half. Typically, that'll raise the tempo of a game, which would favor Wake Forest. Post, open for three. Can't connect. Offensive rebound, keeps it alive. Aligbe cleans up the spill.
Boston College, 10 offensive rebounds to 5 versus Wake Forest. They've done a great job creating some second chance opportunities.
And called for the foul there.
And this is just great work on the offensive glass. Again, we've talked about the numbers. Offensive rebounding advantage to Boston College in this game. And big reason why, too, Efton Reid with that foul trouble. He's back in the game now for Wake Forest.
Boopie Miller stays on Steve Forbes' bench. Both Reid and Miller with 3 fouls. 10 minutes left in regulation. Andrew Carr, scoreless tonight, missed another. Kelly, right to the rack, missed it. Fredrickson, the trailer, hot hand. Couldn't knock it down.
And that's a break for Boston College. Again, in transition, you got to be communicating in that situation. You cannot leave Fredrickson that wide open.
Zachary missed it. Both of these teams getting good looks, just can't connect. Hildreth hits that one, and it's a big 3. Cam Hildreth delivers. Wake Forest back in front. We have had 9 second half lead changes. Kelly looking for another lead change. And a foul called on the rebound. Aligbe pushed off.
And Jay, what's happening in transition, Boston College right here, again, you have to be up if you're the big, no help, poor communication, and then Hildreth gets a wide open look. That's just a simple dribble handoff, and that should not happen if you're Boston College.
And Boopie Miller back into the game for Wake Forest. Demon Deacons leading by 2. Inside to Carr, who draws the foul. Aligbe giving up 3 or 4 inches in that matchup. And that's his 4th.
And they're really trying to establish Carr. And Boston College, again, if you're Prince Aligbe, you cannot let him catch the ball in the post there. Again, you got to work your way around or try to push him out. Again, if he's catching the ball with 2 feet underneath the basket, that's going to be a bucket.
Hildreth muscles it home. Steve Forbes takes a timeout. His team with the momentum right now. A 4-point lead in what has been a fun back-and-forth game in the ACC.
With no fees or minimums and no...
Got the momentum right now.
Transition defense, that was going to be key in this game. Earl Grant talked to us about it. Poor in this last 5-minute stretch right here. One of the better shooters in the ACC. Leave him open. Simple handoff, no communication. The big, Prince Aligbe in this case, needs to be up there hedging or talking. No communication, wide open 3. That's 6 free points you gave Wake Forest, one of the better transition teams, because you didn't communicate in your transition D. That needs to change in this last 8:35-minute stretch for Boston College.
Boston College had built a 10-point first half lead. Wake Forest now leads by 4. Quinten Post has been quiet in the second half for his standards. Madsen step back 3, got it! Mason Madsen Madsen drills it from deep.
And Steve Forbes not happy at all. Again, that's a breakdown by Wake Forest. Madsen, one of the better three-point shooters for Boston College, cannot give him that much airspace.
And Wake Forest turns it over on the other end. Fun finish brewing in Chestnut Hill. Now at the break, we had the hot dog fan toss.
And,
that's me dropping the dog.
You're obviously not that hungry because there's a lack of boxing out or a sense of urgency to grab that hot dog right there, man. We need to work on your blocking out ability.
Much like Quinten Post on that play, I was fouled. There was an over the back. Back to basketball, where we have a terrific game. 1-point game, back and forth, 14 lead changes, 9 in this second half. In a game, 2 9-3 teams both feel like they desperately need to win if they have hopes of March Madness.
Again, Quinten Post relieving the pressure when Wake Forest picks up full court.
Madsen poked away, but Miller there to scoop it up. He lost the handle. It falls to Reid. Here's Boopy Miller in attack mode. Draws the foul. Sunday afternoon right here on ACC Network. You don't want to miss it. Noon Eastern time, a top 13 matchup. NC State at Virginia Tech in women's basketball gets a quadruple header started. That is going to be a great day of hoops right here on ACC Network. The nightcap, Boston College at number 25, Syracuse. Boopy Miller at the line for 1-1. Makes the front end. Now, how important has Boopy Miller been for Steve Forbes tonight?
Great, and I think his ability to make free throws going to be key to close out this game right now. Wake Forest in the bonus, and he is so quick, so shifty. I have a feeling he's going to have some opportunities to get to the free throw line. Again, though, Wake Forest after the make, picking up full court.
Hildreth holding his face as he hustles back in transition defense. Feed to Post, who's fouled.
And again, it's been a physical game all along right here. Yeah, he tried to, again, at that angle, they've been banging around all game. Both teams, physical, well-played game. And
Boopy Miller has committed his 4th foul. Has to come out of this game with more than 7 minutes left in regulation. That is a big deal for a Wake Forest team that has leaned on Miller's energy tonight on the road.
You're absolutely right. The way he's controlled the tempo and pace of this game when he's in there, too important for him to pick up that foul. And you look at it, Miller on the court +10. When he's out of the game, Wake Forest a -8. They need him on the court.
The Demon Deacons clinging to a 1-point lead. 7 minutes left in this ACC battle. Sallis backdoor, slams it home. Hunter Sallis, a rim rocker.
And that's twice now in this game. Hunter Sallis, they're overplaying him. He makes another beautiful backdoor cut, and what a find. Pass on point, and he almost took off the rim again.
McLaughlin trying to answer, and he does. Count it, plus the foul.
Well, my goodness, both these teams playing at a high level. Zachary, beautiful find. McLaughlin, degree of difficulty off the chart with that finish. And then on the other end, a beautiful backdoor cut and rim rocker, as you said. That's a beautiful play by Hunter Sallis, all set up, though, by their spacing.
McLaughlin, 9 points in this second half. Missed the foul shot there, would have tied it at 66. Not much to separate these two teams. They've come in with 9-3 records, respective impressive winning streaks. Only one can keep that winning streak alive. Inside, Efton Reid. The hoop and the harm. What an answer by Reid inside.
And that's how you're supposed to seal if you're a big. Be big, come across the lane and own the paint. Watch him seal the smaller player. That's 2 guards on him and 1. That's a beautiful find and set play by Wake Forest.
And Reid, who has struggled tonight going up against Quinten Post, that time didn't have Post on him, and he capitalized.
And again, because he sets good screens, Boston College that time, I'm not sure why, they switched, put a guard on him, and he did exactly what he's supposed to do. Dive right down to the post.
Madsen on the move. Couldn't finish it. Hildreth, the floater, perfect touch, and Wake Forest extends the lead to 6.
And they got Boston College so spread out right now because they're afraid of the three-point shooting. Again, they're opening up some driving lanes. If I'm Boston College, again, you need to settle down. 5:26 to go, no need to shoot a quick 3. Run your offense and then get a high percentage look.
Deep 3, off the mark. And a foul called on the rebound. It'll stay Boston College ball.
Well, look at the spacing of Wake Forest right here. Again, excellent spacing, and then they're opening up driving lanes for their guards and wings. That's a tough runner by Hildreth. But again, it's all set up because they're running their offense, and then they're getting good spacing on their half-court sets.
And that's 4 fouls on Andrew Carr, so the foul trouble continues for the Demon Deacons. Boopy Miller, 4 fouls. Carr, 4 fouls. Efton Reid has 3.
Steve Forbes has done a nice job of really managing this game with the foul trouble. Again, working guys in and out. But certainly to close this game out, they're going to need Boopy Miller on the floor.
Hildreth has had a hot hand in the second half. 10 of his 14 have come in the second half. Sallis all the way to the rim, missed it. Reid there to clean up the spill.
Oh, he has been impressive. In this last 5 to 6 minute stretch, he has been huge on both ends for Wake Forest.
Post in attack mode. Can't connect. Tipped away. It'll stay Boston College ball, trailing by 6. Here's Post. Shot clock down to 2. Harris has to heave, and he missed it. A broken possession for Boston College.
And Wake's had some good defensive possessions. That might have been their best. Right there, they gave Boston College nothing in the form of dribble drives, and then they forced a deep contested 3 with the shot clock winding down.
Four minutes remaining in regulation. This game has been back and forth all night long, but Wake Forest has their largest lead of the night here. Whistle before the made basket by Reid on the floor. The Demon Deacons have made 6 of their last 7. They lead by 6 with 3:49 left.
Auto owners insures your car. Because sometimes.
Efton Reid, a double-double tonight, and Malcolm, a lot of that production has come in this second half.
Well, this is the reason why he's such a big pickup for Steve Forbes and Wake Forest. The Gonzaga transfer, he has been huge in the second half. 9 points, 6 rebounds, but I think the biggest thing, his presence. He gives them something that Steve Forbes and them have not had in his era. They've always had some really good guards. Alondas Williams, Jake LaRavia, they had some good guards and wings. But Reid gives them a post presence and a guy that can get it done for you on both ends of the court. He has been huge for Wake Forest in this second half.
Reid missed the first 7 games of this season, waiting on the NCAA to approve his transfer waiver from Gonzaga. Since he has come into the lineup, Wake Forest is undefeated. In fact, they've won each game by 10 or more. A 7-game win streak that was put to the test tonight here in Chestnut Hill. Boston College led by as many as 10. Now they trail by 8. They need this 3 desperately. Harris misfires. Kept in by Reid. Great hustle by Efton Reid. And Hildreth finishes coast to coast. And Wake Forest leads by 10.
He is one of the more difficult shot makers, Cam Hildreth, in particular in transition or when he's attacking. My goodness, that's a difficult Euro in traffic.
Wake Forest is shooting 65% in this second half. Harris desperately needed that and gets it. 3 minutes to go. BC trailing by 7. Sallis through the back door again. That time read well by Boston College. They said it went off Sallis last, so it's BC ball.
And Reid again with the save. And then in transition, look at this Euro. That's beautiful right there by Cam Hildreth. But I think a key substitution right now, Boopie Miller back into the game. 2:42 to go, 7-point lead. Certainly, he cannot pick up his 5th foul. Again, it looks like if they run some clock, Boston College is going to have to be forced to foul.
BC had missed their last 6 shots before that Harris make. Harris left wide open. Now back-to-back makes for Harris, and BC only down by 5.
And inexplicably, again, they leave Claudell Harris, again, a breakdown by Wake Forest.
Here's Boopie Miller playing with 4 fouls. Shot clock down to 7. Miller. And now Hildreth, step back 3. Missed it. Under 2 minutes left. Boston College has life. Harris, count it! Plus the foul! Claudell Harris.
Just when you want to say that's a bad shot, not so fast. Claudell Harris almost from the logo and 1. 4-point play. And my goodness, he has caught fire. This is a guy coming off a 29-point performance against Lehigh where he made 7 threes. And that one right there contested and deep.
Claudell Harris on an individual 8-0 run over the last minute and 11. He has single-handedly brought BC back into this game. Wake Forest clinging to a 2-point lead. Miller in attack mode. So crafty. Boopie Miller delivers.
I'm going to tell you right now, Kevin Boopie Miller, his mid-range game is lethal. Shifty, and then his ability to break you down off the bounce and then raise up. Some of the best I've seen all year. My goodness, we got ourselves a ball game. Wake still up 4.
What a fun back-and-forth game in the ACC. Malcolm Huckabee, Jay Alter with you. Minute 31 remaining. Boopy Miller, the difference maker.
How are you going to stop this? Right here. I'm changing directions, and then I'm raising up on you. That has been really the one area Boston College has had no answer for. Boopy Miller's ability to break you down off the bounce and then raise up.
BC down the stretch has leaned on Claudell Harris. He's got the last 8 points for the Eagles. Has it here. Harris off to Post. Quinten Post on the drive, and a foul called. Efton Reid can't believe it.
And it's a smart play. Again, if you're Boston College, you don't need a three. Again, there's over a minute left in the game. That's a heads-up play by Quinten Post. Again, if a three comes off a dribble drive, kick out, or a pin down where a guy's open, that's fine. Minute 7 left in the game. You're only down 4. Certainly do not need to shoot contested threes. Although, by the way, Claudell Harris has been shooting them. It might not be a bad strategy.
Well, think about this. Boston College trailing by 10, under 3 minutes to go. You're thinking this one has gotten away from them. And then Claudell Harris, with 3 contested shots, makes them all. And Steve Forbes at Wake Forest having to earn every minute of this potential win.
And that's simply what a lot of teams, it comes down to. Your playmakers at the end of the game, who is going to be able to go out and get you a bucket? Forget about running plays. Man-to-man, can you match up against my guy?
One possession game. Cam Hildreth missed the layup. Harris rips it away. Harris, the hot hand, pull up, pop, got it! Claudell Harris has taken over.
Well, his mid-range game, we talked about Boopy Miller. Claudell Harris's raise-up game, right back at you. My goodness.
10 seconds separating the shot clock from the game clock. Wake Forest clinging to a 1-point lead. Here's Boopy Miller in attack mode. Kick out. Carr for 3. It's good.
That's why you have Boopy Miller back in the game, and he is so key. That is all set up by Kevin Boopy Miller. Dribble, drive, kick it out for a wide open 3. Wait, up 4.
I loved everything that I heard about Chime. I just didn't know how it would work
Tonight, until this made 3 to put the Demon Deacons up 4.
Dribble penetration kills you. And in that situation right there, again, that's an overhelp. But what do you do with Kevin Boopy Miller creating havoc with his ability to get into the lane? Now, again, you can't leave a guy that wide open. That's a breakdown. But it's all set up because of Boopy Miller's ability to get into the paint. And this has been the story of the second half. Miller, shift, get into the paint, draw 3 defenders, and you can't be any more wide open than that right there.
This game has been back and forth, 9 lead changes in this second half. Steve Forbes has managed this game masterfully, foul trouble for his team, and yet they have found a way to stay in front. 11.7 left on the clock. BC with the ball, trailing by 4. Stolen away, Hildreth! That should seal it for Wake Forest.
And Cam Hildreth, again, heads-up play. Come up with the steal, and it has been a complete team performance. Everybody has chipped in. Boopy Miller, Reid, Hunter Sallis, Steve Forbes has got to be pleased with how his team gutted out a performance.